agencies, signaling support for President Trump's firing of board members. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has more.
The court's conservative majority suggested it would overturn a unanimous 90-year-old decision that is limited when presidents can fire agencies' board members or leave it with only its shell intact. Chief Justice John Roberts referred to the decision known as Humphrey's executor as a dry husk. Liberal justices warned that the decision sought by the administration would concentrate vast power in the president's hands, robbing the agencies of expertise. Solicitor General D. Don Sauer defended President Trump's decision to fire Federal Trade Commission member Rebecca Slaughter without cause and called on the court to jettison Humphrey's executor. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
President Trump is upset with Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar after granting him a pardon. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Last week, the president pardoned the Texas Democrat and his wife in a federal bribery and conspiracy case. He claimed the two were prosecuted because Cuellar had been critical of Joe Biden's immigration policies. But now Donald Trump is angry that Cuellar plans to run for re-election as a Democrat rather than switch parties. He blasted the congressman on social media for his lack of loyalty, suggesting the president was hoping the pardon would boost the size of the GOP's slim majority in the House. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has designated one of the largest Muslim groups in the U.S. a foreign terrorist organization, following a similar step by Texas last month. The directive against the Council on American Islamic Relations comes in an executive order DeSantis posted on social media. This is SRN News. Some liberal churches are sprinkling politics on their Christmas celebrations.
The issue seems to be
president. You elected as your mayor.
You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders.
When are you New Yorkers going to start holding those people responsible for what they do?
Not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
I'm going to deal with topics and issues that'll make you think, make you mad, and maybe even get you a little embarrassed. So don't go anywhere. The lines are open. You can reach me at 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563.
It's the Joe Messina Show.
Welcome back to another session of Sanity right here on the Joe Messina Show. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged. Right? Don't have to keep saying it. You want to say it together? Get involved, get engaged, be part of the system. Be part of the solution. No, don't be part of the system. Be part of the solution. Right? There is a lot going on. And, you want to know how to respond. No, you cannot. You can't just not respond. No, come on, think about it. You can't not respond about when somebody talks to you about this country and how bad it is and how bad this is. And if you have the information, or you should know the information, then I don't understand why you wouldn't at least talk with them. So one writer says that last month the Marine Corps turned 250 years old. In the 2.5 centuries since its founding in Philadelphia, the Marines have evolved into a sophisticated, celebrated expeditionary arm, notably perfecting amphibious warfare in the Pacific. Right? Listen to their song. From Tripoli and Iwo Jima to Incheon and so many other places, Fallujah. They have fought pretty much everywhere. But as America reflects on its most mythologized service, we should ask a difficult question. Do we still need the Marine Corps? Now, for clarity, this is not my question. This is some left-leaning lunatic writer that wants to ask the question. And again, if you're asking the question to really honestly take a look at where they're at, are they a duplicate of services? Do we have other groups? If you're asking the question in earnest, that's one thing. But most of the people on the left, many, hate the military. I can give you story after story about Democrat presidents who didn't want to see our service members. So as Congress prepares another record-setting defense budget, we need to consider whether the Marines' sustained independence makes strategic and fiscal sense. Right? Some people feel that the Marines became redundant years ago. They were designed as a naval infantry, if you would, troops who could fight on land or sea, secure ship decks, conduct coastal raids. Their advantage was amphibious warfare, right? The ability to storm beaches, seize ports before the main forces arrived. They were kind of the front force. They get out there, take care of business, while the other forces were on the way, right? And throughout all of U.S. history, the Marines offered speed, mobility that neither the Army nor the Navy could match. And that's what justified their existence. And their apex moment came during World War II, right? The entire Pacific campaign was built upon the Marines, right? And the model of island hopping, amphibious assaults. These are things that they knew how to do, they were trained to do, and could get done. So a string of brutal Pacific victories pushed Imperial Japan back to its homeland, established the Marine Corps as a national symbol of resolve. I tell you, with the Marines that I know, this is no slight to my dad was an Army man, no slight to the Army, no slight to the Navy. I love the Air Force personally. But they are a different breed. Young men who join the Marines are a different breed. They have a different sense of immortality, good, bad, or indifferent. Their sense of fear, they are a different breed. When the war ended with Japan's surrender, the Marines' role had crystallized. Yeah, right? I mean, you wouldn't if you even thought that the Marines were get involved with the enemy, and you wouldn't dare try to take any place by beach, by water, because the Marines were there to really push you back. But after the war, right, the landscape shifted. The emergence of nuclear weapons, missile technology, the Marines and their functions were suddenly, they're kind of outdated, right? They were fighting mostly to retain relevance in Korea and Incheon landing. In 1950, briefly justified the Marines' post-war existence, but by the Vietnam War, the Marines were engaging in land combat. Not that different from the Army. And it was often conducted under the Army's command structure. So you really have to take a hard look. Do they get, and I'm not suggesting this, these are things that are being thrown out about them. So the operations that they were able to take on, can they be taken on by other groups? Just asking. Now the one writer here says, we could take special ops from every military branch and melt them together, or they could be ready like SWAT teams to come in and do stuff. Well, that's kind of what the Marine Corps does now. They don't take them from every other service, but it's kind of, again, that's their role. Get in there, break it, secure it, and then get out. Now, as China rises, U.S. strategy is pivoting towards the Indo-Pacific. The Marines are going to adapt. You watch. There will be a whole different fighting force in a few years. Anyway, I found it to be very interesting. The thought to be interesting. Be back in a few minutes.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that trying to name your bike.
How about the Crusher? I guess it's not really crushing anything. The Silver Bolt? No. Oh, what about Pepper? Mysterious. Is it a pet or a condiment? Surprise! It's a motorcycle. No, that's stupid.
Get a quote in as little as Next 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor, Get the Tea. Get the Tea carries all natural, non-GMO organic teas and supplements made in the USA. Get the Tea's ingredients are the purest available. My favorite is Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a gentle daily cleanse containing 12 herbs that when combined really keep things moving. I drink it every day and my energy has never been better. I'm feeling great. Life Change Tea comes in 3 delicious flavors, natural, peppermint, and pomegranate. It's an easy and delicious way to keep your digestion on track. And for those on the go, try D365. D365 is Life Change Tea in a capsule. Drink the tea or take D365 capsules and keep your digestion running smoothly. Go to getthetea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's getthetea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
When I started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, with the help of my dedicated employees, we now have hundreds of products, some you might not even know about. To get the word out, we're having a $25 extravaganza. 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. And for the first time ever, our 6-pack towel sets, you guessed it, just $25. Our brand new 4-pack dish towels, $25. And I've never done this before. Premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, even king size for only $25. And there's so much more.
So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-923-1812 and use promo code AUDIO1 to get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88, the lowest price ever.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. That's 800-471-7065.
Attention. This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-362-9337. 800-362-9337. That's 800-362-9337.
Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
Feel the rhythm now. We shall be singing together, you and me, all night, holding hands and moving on.
We are back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. No, seriously, I so much appreciate the time. Oh, there you go. That helps. They're spending with me on the air, in the chat room, and texting and tweeting, and just truly being part of the conversation. Making, you know what, it makes you part of the solution now, doesn't it? And that's what we want. We want you to be part of the solution. We want you to know what's going on. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. So, if you really want to know what turns off Americans to the plight of the refugees, you know, part of it is all the money that they're entitled to, or that not entitled to, that they get, that they shouldn't. We've got Americans not getting as much money, American citizens not getting as much money as the illegals here and what they're doing. Okay? It's just amazing. So, you've got an immigrant who came here, an entitled Somalian, now a state rep in Maine, describing how miserable her experience was. And the thing that bothers me the most about all of this, no thank you. You came here from a crap hole. You came here from basically a war-torn place, right? All the killings and things that were going on there. You came here, and the American people, through their tax dollars, put you up. You got your citizenship, and now you're a representative complaining about America. You guys have no business being in Congress. You have no business being allowed to be elected to office. You took an oath of the Constitution, and the minute you start putting another country ahead of this one, you're done. You should be done. You should be gone. Take a listen. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to work. Hold on. There you go.
Anything. So coming into the States, everything from the snow to, you know, the housing, the homes that we were...
The snow. Everything from this, because, you know, the government has total control over the snow. I'm sure she believes that.
All of a sudden occupying, everything was a shock, honestly. Every day was something new, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just getting worse. Yeah,
So, what state did you guys land, first of all?
Kansas.
Kansas City.
Of all places. Yeah, it was like a boot camp for Maine, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's just like, right, like, I mean, anyone who lives in Maine knows Maine and has ever visited Kansas, they will know what I'm talking about. It's just a lot.
Interesting.
To deal with.
Yeah, she's basically saying that they're really, you know, racist there and all that fun stuff and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, no, thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for letting us come here. Thank you for the American people feeding us and housing us and putting us up in a place where we could be warm and we knew we would be safe. Right? No, because they're entitled to it. And this is not new. Right? This is not new at all. You're seeing this in other states the same way. Go back. What is that? We have a plane waiting for you. Just go back. Everything from the snow to the housing to the homes that we were all of a sudden occupying. That's a good way to put it, too. Occupying. Great way to put it. Everything was new. Well, in a lot of ways, it was probably new, right? It was like boot camp for Maine. Okay, what does that mean? And anyone living in Maine knows what I'm talking about. Well, say it. If it's real and it's true, say it. I mean, what were you expecting to be put up in the Ritz-Carlton, a penthouse at the Trump Towers? I mean, how many times? I mean, if you listen to the whole, you have to hear how much of she's a person of color. She's a black person. She's a person of color. Is it because, why? Because you think it's because you're a person of color? Really? Why don't you go to downtown L.A., downtown Seattle? Why don't you go to downtown New York and look at the white vets sleeping in the streets, huh? The white American citizens sleeping in the streets. The ones that are shooting up and dying there. Yeah, it's all about color, lady. This is what makes me furious. It has nothing to do with color. She reminded us that she was a person of color. What was it, 7 times in this, or 8 times in the interview alone? So, assimilate. That's a big part. Assimilate. My grandparents came here. Our people came here. Many people from Italy and Greece and Spain, they came here. They assimilated without giving up their culture. I was very proud, and still am, of my Italian heritage. I'm an American. My ancestry is Italian. And they brought a lot to the country. They brought a lot in work. All right? You could not be dependent on the government when they got here. You had to prove you could sustain yourself. I don't understand what the problem is. That's law. You know, the Democrats keep screaming about the law. No one's above the law. We need to enforce the law. Well, then enforce it. Truly enforce it. It really gets out of control. You know, and to be cold, nobody invited you here. You came here because you wanted to. You came here for a better life. Are you really saying, listen, if it's worse here than it is in Somalia, let me get you a ticket? I mean, you really must be insane to want to stay here if it's worse than from what you came from. I mean, it's a simple fix. Go back. That's a simple fix. Just go back. Okay. 855 Real Joe. 855-732-5563. I do appreciate your time with me. I appreciate the time you're spending with me here on the air, in the chat room, texting and tweeting, being part of the conversation. Yeah, I'm just going to run down a whole bunch of stories that'll make you and I crazy. So, I can't believe this. The New York Times. After years defending Zelensky, opposing audits, the New York Times now admits that billions in aid were stolen by his inner circle. Democrats blocked oversight. Why would they do that? What are they afraid of? You know, it's funny. When they thought Republicans were blocking the Epstein files, and notice how that has died? Have you noticed that? Because they know he's not in it. They know more of their people of power are in his files. Right? So they were accusing Republicans of blocking the Epstein files because they knew Trump was in there, and they were going to be, well, he wasn't. And the funny thing about it, it was Democrat judges that were blocking it. Now, why would they block auditing the money that went to Zelensky? Why would they do that? What are they afraid of? The same thing, Governor Newsom, he's blocking all the audits for the high-speed rail, for the homeless money, for the money that they were supposed to use to help rebuild part of the city of Los Angeles. Nowhere to be found. Joe Messina, your host. Don't go far.
Attention homeowners. It's not if something's going to break, it's when. That's home ownership. If your dryer, your refrigerator, or your AC and heating breaks, that's an expensive call. And who do you call? Make it easy on yourself and call Choice Home Warranty. We've already done the research and have access to 25,000 technicians that can be at your home quickly. We've covered close to 2 million homes in the United States. There's a good chance your neighbors work with us. Call us right now before the next breakdown. We'll tell you everything that's covered in your home and give you the first month free with our ironclad 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and learn how to get your free month.
800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. That's 800-378-2250.
Limitations and exclusions apply. First month free with purchase of single plan. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for more details.
Life is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. But here's one thing you can control. Making sure your loved ones are protected if the unexpected happens. At easyplans.com, we make getting life insurance, well, easy. In just a few minutes, you can apply online and buy direct. No awkward phone calls, no confusing jargon, and no agent will contact you unless you request help. Just clear, affordable coverage designed to fit your life and your budget. Fast approval, flexible plans, and unlike other online insurance sites, Easy Plans won't sell your information to others. So no endless phone calls and text messages. Whether you're just starting a family, buying a home, or thinking ahead, EasyPlans.com has you covered. EasyPlans.com. We make buying life insurance, well, easy.
America's News Update, I'm John Schaefer. The government shutdown is now in its fourth week, hitting millions of Americans. On Saturday, food assistance funding will run out for more than 40 million people. Flight delays are also rising, with more than 1,000 reported today as air traffic control faces staffing shortages. The Senate failed to pass a short-term spending bill for the 13th time. A new report shows strong private sector job growth over the past 4 weeks. ADP says preliminary data indicates an average of more than 14,000 jobs added per week through October 11th, a big improvement from September. Due to the government shutdown, ADP will now release 4-week employment averages every Tuesday. Hurricane Melissa is pounding Jamaica, marking one of the strongest landfalls on record in the Atlantic. The storm is bringing life-threatening flooding, heavy rainfall, and landslides across the western part of the island.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
I married your mother because I wanted children. Imagine my disappointment when you arrived.
Who doesn't like ZZ Top? I mean, seriously. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged. Truly be part of the conversation, which will make you, right? Seriously. Which will help / make you part of the solution. Right? You really, just think it through. Not a big deal. Anyway, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-556. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at some numbers that were up on the screen. Over 200, I mean, they're cleaning up rolls. The DOJ is forcing some of these states to clean up voter rolls. And in the short time they've been doing it, they've already taken 250,000 dead people off the rolls. Did you hear me? Dead people. And now they know they have tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of illegals registered to vote, because in places like California, they don't ask you if you're what is it, motor voter, right? So they don't really ask you. Nobody checks to see if you're truly if you're truly here legally and allowed to vote. I find it totally interesting, and nobody seems to care. Not a big deal, right? Oh, God. 855, I know, you got to laugh about something. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. As I started finally, we might, I don't know, we'll see. After years of them defending Zelensky and opposing audits, the New York Times now admits billions in aid were stolen by the inner circle. And who blocked oversight? The Democrats. Seriously. And the corruption is undeniable. The only question is, where's the money? So the New York Times, the headline of the New York Times said that Zelensky looted billions in aid while Dems fought all oversight. I mean, they were in love with this guy at one time, right? They say let's see. They now admit his team helped steal billions in U.S. financial aid. This follows years of Democrat resistance to any audit, special inspection general for Ukraine, right? A stance the Times repeatedly justified. Their sudden reversal confirms the warnings that critics made from the start. Massive corruption thrived because Democrats and their accomplices insisted on zero accountability. They're in the middle of a war. It's too hard to account for all the money. No, actually, it's not. Sorry. And the least surprising revelation ever, the New York Times actually came out and I'm sorry. This is just amazing. So they vehemently championed Zelensky and the U.S. financing of the war in Ukraine. Now they got documents of how Zelensky and his top aides, how they stole billions in aid. All right. You know what? It doesn't matter unless somebody goes to jail. It means nothing unless somebody goes to jail. And frankly, guys, I'm sorry. I don't see that happening. Happening, whatever. Do you? Oh, God bless America. 855 Real Joe, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution. All right. I can't think of this woman's name. Matter of fact, I think what it is, I think it's a Freudian thing. I don't want to know her name. Right? She is, hell, heck. If I don't tell you, that you won't know who the heck I'm talking about, right? But, what's her name? Whatever. We'll get it later. But she's talking about how this country was built by Muslims. I mean, you got to hear this. This is, you sit here and you say to yourself, my God, okay, maybe you didn't go to school here. Maybe the school you went to only told you how great the Muslims were, how great that group was, and not real history as to what took place. Maybe I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But when you hear her, you sit there and you go, okay, you obviously got misinformation somewhere. Take a listen, I think. I hope. Let's try this. Come on, you can do it.
Across the country, regardless of political party, know that immigrants from all over the world, Somalia, India, wherever they're from, Latin America, Africa, that immigrants have built this country and make this country what it is today.
I want you to pay attention to what she did. Look at it.
All right. She's wrong. She's dead wrong. At the, 90 to at least, at minimum, 90% of the people who started to build this country were white Europeans, whether you like it or not. The first slaves that come to this country were Irish. That's what makes this so funny. They have no idea the truth. Nor, I would imagine, nor do they care. Right? 855 Real Joe. 85. This stuff, the only reason it infuriates me so much is that kids are hearing this and believing it. And there's no way. There's no way they could believe it in any way, shape, manner, and or form, So, okay, so here's another one on the fight about Margaret Sanger, and I'm still amazed at how many people, how many young kids Well, actually, how many older folks? Not only do they not know who she is, they don't know what she did. I mean, it's really funny. When they talk about Hitler, they'll tell you, well, he was a bad guy. Okay, you're right. He was a bad guy. I mean, killing 7 million Jews, bad. But you don't know who Margaret Sanger is? Because frankly and honestly, I mean, almost the equivalent from a standpoint, and when I say that, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to discount or belittle what Hitler did. But Margaret Sanger has done the same thing to the black community in the way of abortions and such. You have to sit there and say to yourself, my God, apparently we're not teaching this at all in school. And we should be. We should be teaching a lot more. All right, do it again. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. And let's hear what Michael Knowles has to say about this. Take a listen. Maybe.
To get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. I've always wondered, look, the effect of her policy is disproportionately to exterminate blacks. That is indisputable. I assume when she wrote that, what she was trying to convey is we don't want people to misinterpret our motives or something.
That's how the liberals, that's how they've always spun it. Do you want some other Sanger lines, the patron saint of feminism here, guys? Okay, how about this one? Birth control is not contraception thoughtlessly and indiscriminately practiced. Birth control means the cultivation and release of the better racial elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and eventual extinction of defective stocks, those human weeds who threaten the blossoming of the finest flowers of American civilization. Full quote from Birth Control Review, her magazine.
It's harder to spin.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. She says we don't want...
Amazing. And you guys still fall for her. You still think that she was great to help women out. She didn't care about you women. Do you understand that? She could care less. If you were a white woman, she'd probably encourage you. Or a white woman of means, she probably would encourage you to keep that child. And yet, when you look at what's happening, she wanted to wipe out the black race. They were a scourge on society. They have to go. Think about that. Let that sink in a little bit as you're sitting there trying to figure out what and how you're going to do. And how bad us Republicans are because, well, I don't even know why. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. You guys are so full of contradictions. It's hard to keep up. It really is. When we come back, I'll even play you a couple of pieces from Barack Obama, who sounds more like a Republican in the video than he does anything else. Unless he lied. Wouldn't do that. We'll be back.
Right now, you can eliminate odors, mold, mildew, bacteria, and viruses in your home with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses Oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules that seek out and destroy odors. The Thunderstorm doesn't mask or cover up bad smells, it eliminates them, leaving that fresh, clean smell, just like after a thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm is small, plugs right into the wall, and fits in the palm of your hand. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you want clean, fresh air. It even includes a USB cord for your car or truck. Right now, save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200, a fraction of the cost compared to other air purifiers. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code USA3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use USA and the number 3. Shipping is free.
Attention timeshare owners. Tired of the financial stress? Were you misled by the salesperson? Don't or can't use your timeshare anymore? If any of these apply to you, then you may qualify for timeshare cancellation and get the relief you need now. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is the #1 affordable fixed fee legal solution in the country with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. That's certainly better than my grades. They even offer a 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Let one of their experienced lawyers evaluate your case and explain the process. If they take you as a client, they'll work on your case until it's resolved in your favor, guaranteed. Expect great service and a close working relationship with your lawyer, keeping you informed every step of the way, protecting your rights, interests, and even your credit. It's that simple. Even a kid like me could understand it. The consultation is free. Call today.
800-875-1853. 800-875-1853. That's 800-875-1853.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. That's 800-871-3291.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-399-4215. 800-399-4215. 800-399-4215. That's 800-399-4215.
Gentlemen, Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control.
We are back. Always appreciate the time you're spending with me here on the air, in the chat room, texting and tweeting and just being part of the conversation. You know, really, seriously. Get informed, get involved, and simply, seriously, just tell people what the truth is. Let it rip, as they say. Right? So I was noticing during the break, I went through, some people sent me some stories about the SCOTUS today. And what I want to say is, this is kind of funny, is the fact that the Supreme Court is weighing in on whether to increase presidential power. I find that interesting, right? How about you say it the right way? The Supreme Court is weighing whether or not to give him back, and not Trump, give the president back his presidential powers. He's right. You know, the justices today, when they were questioning, they're right when they say, wait a minute. So if they make it an independent committee, that means the president can't do anything with it or about it? Come on. No, it doesn't work that way. He is the head of the executive branch. That means pretty much anything that falls under him or under the executive branch, he's got control of. Total control. You know, it's really funny that when we screamed about some of the stuff that Obama was doing, Biden was doing, and others, I'm going to go one step further with you and say, they didn't even make it to the courtroom. They wouldn't even be brought up. It was dismissed before it even got there. And you could go right down the line and show the similarities or the exactness between what Trump did, right? I mean, and others, and they come after them. Elected officials that are on the right side, where they come after them for doing the same thing the Democrats do. Seriously. Anyway. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Send me an email, joe at joemessina.com, joe at joemessina.com. And I do appreciate the time that you're spending with us. So, oh, come on. I had a story set up for you guys ahead of time. And now I can't find a one. But that's all right. I'll get over it. Harmy Dillon. That's what I was looking for. God, you know, she was my attorney on the Katie Hill case. And she's just an animal. And I don't mean that in a negative way. She is an animal. She doesn't believe anybody is above the law. So the Department of Justice's official Harmy Dillon announced that her agency is unveiling a gun rights focus section on Monday, promising Americans that a lot more action on gun right enforcement will be taken. Dillon works as an assistant attorney general for the DOJ Civil Rights Division. She said her division has started a Second Amendment section. Yes, I'm really excited about this, said Dillon. For the first time, the DOJ Civil Rights Division, the DOJ at large, will be protecting and advancing our citizens' right to bear arms. Right? It shouldn't even be a question. Now, as Attorney General Pam Bondi has said, the Second Amendment is not a second-class right. I couldn't agree more with her. I mean, really, right? The they've already worked on the D.C. gun permits. The wait now has been slashed from months to days as the crackdown continues on crime. According to Dillon, the department will fight a variety of state and local events or local courts on gun issues, particularly difficulties around concealed carry permits. Some of the things we're seeing that's going on to be focused on our work around the country includes multi-$1,000 costs for citizens to apply for concealed carry permits. She's right. It is so expensive. And everything you have to go through, and the classes you have to take, and the average person can't scrape the money together to make it happen. Other jurisdictions having unreasonable long delays. Other jurisdictions are outlawing guns that should be protected by the Second Amendment under the recent Supreme Court precedent. She emphasized that gun rights equalizes the ability of those of us women, people with disabilities, and others who might otherwise be more vulnerable to be able to protect themselves. Right? I mean, we got it so ridiculous in California that you may have 10 guns and you've been checked out on every one of them, right? Background check, whole 9 yards. And they have to run a background check on you to buy ammunition for that gun. So let's say we have to wait 10 days to pick it up. Not the ammunition, but the gun. So I buy the gun on Monday. They run a check on me. I have to wait 10 days to pick it up. Okay? And once I pick it up, let's say I go home and I thought I had 5 boxes of ammunition, but I have less than 1. I go back a couple of weeks later, they got to run another background check on me. I got to pay for that too. Ridiculous. She goes on to say they're going to be protecting the right here in the Department of Justice. She added the president issued an executive order making this clear just 2 weeks ago in his tenure. He's been working on that Second Amendment section ever since I got here. So stay tuned. You're going to see a lot more action from this Department of Justice to protect your Second Amendment. Oliver Krotsky, an attorney who specializes in Second Amendment litigation at Amber Law, told a local news source that the section creation is a welcome change, though the DOJ has had a flawed record on the issue. For years, individuals, grassroots organizations have had to fight these unconstitutional firearms regulations, and so federal help will always be appreciated. But the DOJ shouldn't ignore its own complicity in violating the Second Amendment, as it has many times. Now, rather than resting or resisting ongoing legal challenges to 20th century federal gun laws, the DOJ should be working with pro-gun organizations to make the most of President Trump's limited time in office. They're right. Go to the wall. Go for the gusto. Make sure that whatever you're doing, right, let's make sure that it's going to stick, or they're going to have a hard time changing it. We really, really do. You know, they'll do anything. Newsweek is not known as a right-wing rag. And somebody just sent me this just to say, look what they're doing now. But Newsweek says that the latest study shows it links relationship violence with gun ownership. Okay? Just amazing. And then on top of that, there's an article in the same paper that a woman wrote. She says, I don't like guns, but I was shocked how I felt after carrying one for 1 month. You see, you're afraid of the unknown. When you look at this, or look at what's going on, you have to stop and say to yourself, have I ever shot one? Do I truly know what it is? Do I truly know that I can use it as a tool to save myself? Or save myself, right? I don't think people know that. No, in all seriousness. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times my wife belonged to a girls' gun club. I can't remember what the name of it was. And they would meet at the gun range, I think once a month. They go through gun safety, how to shoot, how to clean them, that kind of stuff afterward. And I can't, once in a while I'd show up, pick her up, and show up and kind of hang out a little early. When you look at this, and you listen to them talk afterward, they were petrified. No, they were petrified of guns. They didn't even want them in the house. They're too dangerous. But if you're one that pays attention, you lock them up properly, or you make sure they're in safe places. Right? You teach your kids. I know guys that have families. They have 4 or 5 kids in the house, and they have guns pretty much in every room to protect their kids. Their kids know where they are. They know what they are. They know how to handle them, and they know how dangerous they are. Okay? Are you saying you can't, it's funny how you so much want to support young kids, especially here in California. At 12-year-olds, they can make a decision to have an abortion. At 12 years old, they can make a decision to be a transgender or go through surgery and change their body, right? But they can never be allowed to hold a gun or shoot a gun. Kids they don't have the capacity to understand. Well, if they don't have the capacity to understand about guns, they sure as heck don't have the capacity to understand what it means to have an abortion. Okay? I mean, you can't get much more hypocritical than that. 855 Real Joe. 855-732-5563. I do appreciate the time you're spending with us here on the air, in the chat room, texting and tweeting, being involved, being engaged. I got a bunch more stuff I want to play, but I am out of time. So come on back here tomorrow. God bless, guys. Don't do anything stupid. I want you back here with me later.